What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Charlie, and today I'm going to get into the main topic, which is trusting in God's plan and His timing. But first, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe, watch our latest videos. And I wanted to talk about briefly what is going on right now in the world. Crazy times. And I kind of wanted to give you guys some encouragement today and some things that I've been thinking about with what is going on in the world right now. Yeah, let's get to it. Before I get into the main topic that I want to talk about, I kind of want to give you guys a little background on my journey as a Christian man. So I grew up in a Christian household, and I volunteered for all the camps. I did all the Mexico mission trips. I did all the summer camps and everything leading up through high school was great. And then I went to college and got a little lost. And that's another topic for another day. One of the main things that has kept me going is what I'm going to get into today, which is God's plan, trusting in God's plan, and God's timing. So before I go into the main topic, I wanted to give you guys some quotes from the Bible that I've been looking at daily to remind myself to not worry and to always trust in God's plan. So here's the first one from Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Some of you probably know this. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. So with everything that's going on right now, crazy time, trusting in God's plan and knowing that there's hope and that there's a future is huge. I struggle with understanding God's plan all the time. Another verse I read from the Bible the other day is from Esther 4:14. Perhaps you were born for such a time as this. With everything that's going on in the world right now, perhaps we were meant to be here at this time, going through all this for a reason. And maybe it was God's plan. I've been seeing these things on Instagram where it's like 2020 sucks, 2020 sucks. Like everything that's going on, it sucks. Yeah, it does. But perhaps we were meant to go through these things for the future, for our future kids, for the generations that are coming after us. Maybe our generation was meant to have to endure these things for the future. And maybe that's all God's plan. And one thing about God is His timing sometimes isn't what we want. Not sometimes, pretty much all the time. And I kind of think about this with V. I trust her with everything I have, but her timing is horrible. Okay, you guys, she is not good at being on time. She's gonna kill me for saying that, so I'm gonna just nip that in the butt. God's timing may be late, you may think it's late, but it's all meant with purpose. Quick story. If some of you don't know, I moved colleges, went from Nevada to Monterey, and that transfer, when I was at Nevada, He put me there for a reason. It was God's plan for me to be there for 2 years and then go to a different school. And that's what I think a lot about, and even relating it to people transferring schools, athletes. You know, God set you there for a reason, and now His plan is for you to go to another place, and then another place. And I also think about this with the move to San Diego. You know, we don't exactly know why God's putting us there yet. It's not to be by the beach. We know there's a bigger purpose for God to put us there, and with His timing, He will show us eventually. But now, while we're going through the process, to give us peace, we have to trust that God is going to give us fruits of the labor of staying patient and trusting in his plan and being obedient with everything that we're doing. And that's going to be huge and that I give that encouragement for you guys. We're going through this crazy time right now, but continue to trust in God's plan. Another piece of encouragement that V shared with me the other day is the darker it gets, the brighter God's light shines. No matter how discouraged you may be, no matter how in a bad place you may be, God's light will always shine. And don't be discouraged no matter what you're going through right now. God's always got a plan for you, and he's always got your back. So I was watching a sermon the other day by Steven Furtick. I think I said that right. If not, I'm sorry. But he is this pastor from Elevation Church, I'm pretty sure. And he has some great sermons. And one thing that stuck out to me from one of his sermons was his analogies and stories about Solomon and the wind. This is basically what Pastor Steven Furtick is saying in this. There will be times constantly where you are going to have to walk and fight against the wind. A lot of people step to the side of it and watch the wind and don't go through the process, don't go through the trials and failures. But eventually you're gonna have to walk against the wind, against the tough times, and get through it. And this is all in correlation to trusting God's plan, because people on the side watching the wind aren't trusting in God's plan, knowing that there is an end goal, there is a fruit from the labor. But it's also in relation to, he said, how many people have not started what God's asked them to start because they have been watching the wind, been waiting for that more spare time. If you've been on the outside watching the wind, it's time to get in the wind and go against it. Fight through it. Start that new thing. Go through those hard times. So again, in relation to go through those hard times so your kids can have a better life. Go through those hard times so we can have a better future for all of us. Another thing that I wanted to touch on was the idea of God puts you in uncomfortable situations for growth. God is purposely putting us in uncomfortable situations, uncomfortable conversations, and for a reason. He wants us to grow. He wants to see a difference in the world. He wants to see change. Think about this too with mine, V's, and Noah's move to San Diego. It may be a lot of unknown, a lot of uncomfortable conversations that we're having to have, a lot of hard conversations, but all that's going to happen out of it is growth. I think about this when me and V first started our YouTube. Very uncomfortable, you guys, getting in front of a camera and talking and being vulnerable and putting ourselves out there, putting our lives out there to the world. Very uncomfortable at the beginning. But all that has caused, we have seen it. We've seen our growth individually, together. We've seen growth in people that watch the videos. We've seen it touch a lot of people. And that's something that I encourage you guys is, even though it may be uncomfortable, it may be awkward, know that it's just going to cause growth in the long run. And all it is going to impact your life positively and for the better. The last piece of encouragement that I want to give you guys, I hope you guys have gotten something from this. Is this a good time or a bad time? Is this a good time or a bad time? For you individually, for our world? No, we're going through a lot of things that needed to happen, obviously. There needs to be change in our world. But God blesses people in bad times. Let's say that again. God blesses people in bad times. So that's the encouragement I want to give you guys, the mindset that even though you may be going through bad times, God is still there. Even though you may be struggling, God is still going to bless you at the end of the day. Even though you don't know what's going to happen, the unknown, the things that may be stressing you out, still trust God, trust His plan, and trust everything that He's done for you in the past. Think about all these great things that He's done for you before. He's still going to do those things. You know, so I encourage you to always trust in God's plan, whether the timing isn't up to par for you or not. Alright, so I know I've been kind of all over the place in this video. I had a lot of things I wanted to touch on, but I hope this kind of served you in some way, gave you some encouragement, maybe gave you something that you'll take away from it. And that's what I want to do at the end of the day. I just want to provide you guys with some encouragement and some opportunities where you learn something new or just anything. I just want to be here for you guys. Also, thank you to everyone that has subscribed to us. We love you guys. It has meant the world to us. We pray for you guys. We be thinking about you guys. And we just want to always thank you, the OG subscribers. You guys are the best. Stay tuned for future videos.